What's going on, everybody? Back here again with another video. Gonna be doing an update for a video I dropped about a year ago. It was mobile video tips for iPhone, but for you Android users, you might find this useful as well. I can't promise everything I'm about to spill is gonna work for you, mainly because the apps I use, some of them are exclusively for iPhone. That's the reason I choose iPhone. I'm not an Android hater. It's just from a productivity standpoint and getting things done, iPhone does the best for me. So this is not a which phone is better type deal. I've had both, and the reason I switched back to iPhone was because apps that I use on iPhone were not on Android, or either they make them on iOS first and then make them for Android later, because Android has all these phones with different software. First is the iPhone, which is just on one ecosystem you're developing for one phone. So that's my little rant right there. But anyway, so with that being said, yeah, with this video, I'm basically gonna go over how I film, what apps I use to film, also what apps I use to edit, as far as making my thumbnails, watermarks, posting on YouTube, and also with the YouTube thing. For those of you who are interested, I'll give my own, just from my experience, my own tips as far as starting on YouTube, what audience to look for, what subject to come up with that you want to talk about, tagging, how to do your descriptions and good titles and things of that nature, so you can get noticed out on YouTube. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into things, shall we? I guess first what I'm gonna start off with is actually what I film with as far as equipment. So what y'all see right now, my new iPhone XS that I'm using to film with. This is my tripod, got this from Walmart. Nothing too fancy, just make sure it comes with an adapter, because if it doesn't, you'll have to order it separately from like Amazon or something. You're gonna need this to hold your phone. Also, another thing that I use is the Osmo Mobile. I use this for more when I have to like catch like action shots, like when I'm doing my workouts. That's mainly what I'm using this for right here, and I already did a review on this if y'all want to check that out. But that's basically a phone gimbal. It helps you stabilize your phone, and also it allows active tracking, which follows your movements without having to hold the phone or whatever. So with that being said, that's pretty much it on my equipment. So moving on to filming. So before I show y'all what I used to film my videos with, let's go into the actual camera mode itself for the iPhone, which I never really use. Only time I use it is to take like portrait photos. That's about it. As far as the video, I don't use it. It takes more than just going into the camera mode and pushing record. It doesn't work that way. So to get the most out of your camera, you're going to have to use outside apps. But going back into the camera mode, the reason I really don't use it is because it really doesn't give you any freedom as far as your settings. Even when you're in the mode, you can't choose your resolution from within the app. You have to go into the settings, and then you have to choose your resolutions, and even from there you really don't have that many choices. Like for instance, I like to shoot at 24 frames per second, which I'll get into what that means. I like to shoot at 24 frames per second, but when I go to the camera app, in the settings anyway, it'll only allow me to choose that if I'm shooting in 4K. What if I want to shoot in 1080p or 720? So that's a problem with that. So it's just really, you really don't have that much freedom of choice or no manual controls when you're using the regular camera mode. So it's going to take more than just going into the camera mode and pushing record. But with that being said, let me go ahead and get into what I actually use, which is the Filmic Pro app. All right, so Filmic Pro. So what Filmic Pro does is it allows you to manually adjust your focus and also your lighting. So you see the left reticle over here, I'm able to change the lighting right there. And also with the focus, this is the most important thing to me anyway. You're able to change your focus so you can achieve that blurry background, or if you want to keep everything within focus, you can do that as well. But I like to have that blurry background. So as y'all can see, I'm kind of adjusting it right now. and I'll get into the whole Bokeh Effect thing in just a little bit once I get off this camera mode, but I want to talk about that as well. But also some things within the Filmic Pro app. Now this right here is a little bit more advanced. Most of y'all probably won't even care about this, but I like to shoot what's called in log mode. It basically strips the color, so when I get ready to add the color in post editing, it makes the colors look richer when I do that. So I like to shoot in log mode, but you can also choose between natural, dynamic, flat, but I like to keep it in log. But log is actually an extra purchase. I think it's like $10 with the cinematographer kit, but most of y'all probably won't even use that mode, so unless you're interested in that, never mind. But with that being said, that's pretty much everything as far as the focus and the lighting. You can also go in and change the resolutions. Y'all can see here I'm in 4K right now. It's 4K all day since I have more storage now, but you can go from 4K all the way down to 720, back up, and the right here, which y'all see me changing, is the bit rate. The higher the bit rate, the more quality you're going to have, and you can't do that with the regular camera mode once again. So I like to keep mine in Filmic Extreme, which is running at 100 megabits per second. Also up here you can change the format as far as like letterbox and full screen, so you can have more of that cinematic effect if you please. Frame rate, like I said, right now what y'all see is this is 24. It's more of a slower cinematic feel. So now I'm gonna go into 30, which is your normal range or your normal video that you probably see on YouTube, and then I'm gonna go into 60. I don't know why I keep going into that. And then I'm gonna go into 60, which is your faster motion right here. So sometimes I use 60. The thing is with 60, and that's pretty much gonna be it. I don't think I have anything else to show y'all. Of course, the camera, you can choose between tele, which basically allows you to zoom in without losing focus. The selfie camera, which y'all see right now, back to wide. I really don't use zoom that much. I don't see the point of it. Other than that, this other stuff y'all really don't have to worry about. So I'm going to log off of that and get back to me. So yeah, like I was saying, with 60 frames per second, the reason I don't use it that much is, number one, I prefer the film style, the cinematic style. But with like Instagram and Facebook, where you're sharing videos to that, it's gonna downgrade it to 30 frames per second anyway. The only way you can see 60 frames per second is on YouTube. So that's one of the reasons I really don't use 60 that much, even though it's a fun style to use. But with that being said, as far as filming, I would say strive for the best quality as possible. I know 4K uses a lot. I would suggest you get a phone with a lot of storage. But by the time you save the video to your camera roll and then edit it out, of course it's gonna lose the native resolution it was originally set at, and it's gonna lose a little bit of quality. So why not offset that by filming in the highest quality possible? Definitely when you upload it to social media sites like Facebook, which is gonna kill your video as far as your quality. So that's why I just really recommend just uploading to YouTube, but sometimes I upload to Facebook as well. But with that being said, I think that's pretty much it on the filming portion of this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on into editing. Oh, I almost forgot. So one more thing before I get into the editing portion. I was talking about the Bokeh Effect earlier, and that's basically blurring the background. Like y'all see right now, the background is blurred and the subject, or me, is more in focus. So basically with a lot of my reviews, I like to shoot in this style. So in order to achieve this, how I do it in the Filmic Pro app, on the focus reticle, once you go into the app, you probably want to choose like between the second and the third notch. And how I distance myself between the camera, it works best if you have a greater distance between you and the background. So the distance I use to measure, what usually works for me, is I take my hand, and the top of the phone is right now is meeting the halfway point of my hand as I have it stretched out, and that's how I know I'm in the right position. But I can always flip and turn my phone so I can see, because I run tests before I run my actual video to see if my focus is in check. So make sure y'all do y'all video tests as well. So that's what I wanted to touch on as far as if you want to achieve that blurred background effect. But with that being said, let me go ahead and get into the editing portion of this tutorial. Alright, so getting into the LumaFusion app, which I use for editing, and the major thing I like about this, which I'm probably the only thing I'm gonna go over really in this app, because it would take me a long time to go into every aspect of this. Of course, you can choose different transitions. You can also choose picture in picture. Of course, I would have to have a picture or video right there, but you can use picture in picture. But I'm gonna go back and reset that. You can also go here and change the color and the filter of your video, so you can choose between different filters. You can change the brightness, the contrast, and you have a lot of control over the look of your video with the color grading aspect of LumaFusion. But also you're able to import your photos from Dropbox. It also has royalty-free music. It doesn't really have that much of a selection. You can do titles, transitions, and other things as well. It has 3 video tracks and 3 audio tracks you can use as well. But other than that, with this one, what I also like, when you do the output, you can choose between what resolution you want to output it in, the frame rate you want to output it in, from 24 to 60, well 18 to 60 actually, the 240. I'm all over the place, y'all. And you can also choose the video quality, which is basically the megabits per second that it runs in. So you can go from standard quality, economy, web, and all that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it on this app that I'm going to get into. So let's go ahead and move on to the next portion of my video. Another app you can probably use is iMovie. A lot of people use iMovie, but honestly, I think LumaFusion has a little bit more depth to it than iMovie. I stopped using iMovie like years ago. But with that being said, that's pretty much the editing aspect of my videos and what I use to edit. Also, some other things that you may be interested in is another app called Watermark V, which also puts watermarks on your videos, but I really don't use that anymore because LumaFusion does that for me. Also, next app I want to show you is the Photoshop Adobe Mix app, and what this allows me to do is it allows me to create my thumbnails, and also it allows you to like cut and paste different photos. So I'll take this photo for instance, and if I go to cutout, it allows me to pick out what part I want to cut out in the photo. So I don't need to be perfect. I'm just going to point it out, and you see how I cut out the iPhone right there. So it allows me to do that, and it's a great tool for creating thumbnails that are creative. But with that being said, you can also put in text and other images on top of each other, and that's basically how I create my thumbnails. But yeah, that's pretty much it on that app. So that's alright. So last but not least, getting into the YouTube game and uploading your own videos, starting your own YouTube channel or whatnot. So I guess the first place to start off, I don't really know how it is right now, because I started YouTube a long time ago, y'all. I actually started YouTube in 2010. I have a channel that I have told nobody about. Very few know what I used to do on that channel, but it's so nerdy, y'all, I don't even want to talk about it. but it was way before I started my fitness. People thought I started with fitness. No, I didn't. I pretty much grinded my teeth on another channel, but I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, yeah, so starting out on YouTube, what I can tell you is that you want to stay within a certain realm. You don't want to go all over the place. Like for instance, I have this channel for reviews, I have my fitness channel for fitness, and I have my singing channel for singing and stuff closely related to that. It doesn't make sense for me to do a review channel and then have a random video of the family barbecue. Nobody wants to watch that. Nobody cares about your child. Nobody cares about your cute cat. Nobody cares about that. They came to your video or your channel for a specific purpose, and that's how you'll lose subscribers if you veer off into random topics. So make sure you're staying on point. But with that being said, as far as I guess starting out and getting noticed, because it's very hard starting up. It is, and getting those numbers up. And YouTube has changed so much since I started out. I thought it was like way better back in the glory days where you could do like video responses and things like that. And that's one way a lot of people would get on. They would do video responses to popular videos, and that's one way you could get on. Also, you could have like a bigger YouTuber, if you could like reach out to them and get them to like one of your videos. That's kind of like how my fitness channel popped off. Even though it's not like too big, but I saw a big surge in subscribers. I think his name is Chris Jones. He runs the it used to be Physiques of Greatness, but now it's called Pump Chasers. And he liked one of my videos, and I had like a whole gang of subscribers that just joined my YouTube. So that was a good thing, and I think that method still works. And also, another tip I would probably give y'all is to choose something that's relevant, that people are looking for. Like with my last video, I just did a review on Lil Wayne's The Carter 5. A lot of people are going to be checking for that. I probably should have did it sooner, because I'm a smaller YouTuber. I have to do things in a more quick, timely fashion. It's basically like a news channel that's trying to get ahead of another news channel trying to get to the story first, if that makes sense. That's how you get a better chance of getting views on a video, because if you come too late with it, everybody has seen it already and nobody's really checking it for it no more, and then your video is going to be buried on the search page. So if you get to the video first, you will be the first person on the search page, if that makes sense. So that's one way to get your videos noticed as well. So choose something relevant that people are looking for, or something that's actually a niche that not a lot of people are looking for, but it's a good group or amount of people that are actually interested in that subject. You can actually use that as well. You kind of have to kind of think on what that may be. But other than that, let's see, anything else? I guess if you want to get on real quick, if y'all are not familiar with like the reaction video fad, I love reaction videos, by the way, because I like seeing other people, what their ideas and I guess you could say their thoughts towards other things that I'm interested in. But basically what a reaction video is a person sits down, they may choose something popular to watch. Like say for instance, they want to react to an album. Let's say the Carter 5 for instance. And they'll sit there and listen to the whole album and react to each song. Honestly, I can't do that. That's too much work. And you also have to watch out for copyright. A lot of reaction video, of people that do reaction videos, they have to upload and re-upload their videos because they get taken down because of copyright. And they have to cut the video up to where it won't copyright them. So that's the reason I personally don't want to do reaction videos, but I'm tempted because from what I've seen, it's easy to really get on with reaction videos. So y'all kind of research that. If that's something you want to do to get on, go try it. But yeah, you'll definitely have to watch out for the copyright thing. Also, another thing we get in your videos is going back into the thumbnails. If it's just a picture with you talking, like your face and you looking into the camera, chances are nobody may not click on it. Try using something interesting. That's why I went with the Adobe app, because it allows me to cut and paste different subjects into one frame, and it's not just me staring off into the distance. A lot of people may not click into that because it's going to be a lot of videos with the same title, so you're going to have a thumbnail that kind of sets you apart, and also a title that's going to set you apart as well. So with that being said, but before I get into the title thing, man, don't what's the word I'm looking for? Clickbait. Don't do that. I hate that stuff, doing clickbait. So make sure what your video is actually about, have it in a title, because YouTube can take you down for that, for being misleading. Also, the same thing with your tags as well. Make sure you're tagging your videos with the right information. Don't just tag popular material within your video to get hits, because it's going to work against you as well. But as far as tagging and doing descriptions and titling your video, you may want to go beforehand and kind of type stuff in. If you, like, say for instance, if an iPhone review or whatever, and you type in iPhone excess review, if that's the first thing that pops up, YouTube is going to automatically fill in the suggested terms that people are already looking for. So that's something you might want to look for to put in your title or your description or the tagging of your video. So you want to make your video easy to find as possible. I think that's pretty much it on the YouTube thing, man. I guess I can go into promoting your videos as well. I like to promote my videos on Facebook and Instagram. It's really gonna work better if you have a lot of friends and followers. That's kind of my problem right now. I'm so low-key, y'all. I got like maybe 300 some friends on Facebook, and I have 100 some followers on Instagram, and not everybody is going to see that just because of the algorithm alone. So the more friends you have, more followers you have, the more that is going to work as far as promoting on social media. Definitely, if you're already a popular person, it's definitely going to be easier to get views and subscribers. I know it's people that start out way after me that are already getting on and have more numbers than I have. It's just that I don't have that popular factor, and I have to basically get it from the mud and start from the bottom ground. But yeah, that's one thing I have to work on. But other than that, that's pretty much it on the YouTube aspect. Those are really all the ideas and tips that I can give y'all. I hope that made sense. But I hope this video as a whole helped you guys. Let me know if y'all have any questions or concerns. And that's pretty much going to be it for me. Peace out. See y'all next time.